Welcome to 3-Minute Thursdays.
3-Minute Thursdays are a short breakdown of topics that you will see within your flight training here at UND. The goal is for you, the student, to have a better understanding of what it takes to become a safe, professional pilot.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Romlow and I am a lead flight instructor here at UND Aerospace. The previous video outlined some simple steps to help you set up your airplane and select the perfect pylons as we get prepared for this ground reference maneuver. This week, I will be keeping up with the trend and providing you with some simple tips and tricks to help keep the pylon locked on your wing as you execute one of the most difficult VFR maneuvers. Our pylons are selected and we are setting up the airplane for the first turn. My first tip is to keep the entry tight. Personally, I teach my students to enter the turn at 1/4 mile. This will help exaggerate the initial descent. Remember, we are not worried about the radius of the turn once we enter the maneuver. However, having a standard entry point will help you during the entry and transitional periods of this maneuver. As you enter the maneuver, start the turn as soon as you lose the pylon on the leading edge of the wing. This should place the pylon directly off the reference point on your wing. I like to use the center rivet line, as it is almost dead center on the wing and allows me to see the pylon movement much easier. Once you are in the turn, you should be focusing on keeping the pylon stationary rather than holding altitude. As you know, your pivotal altitude will change based on the wind direction, so your altitude will be consistently changing. Remember to add forward pressure if the pylon is in front of you, initiating a descent, and back pressure if the pylon is behind you, initiating a climb. This maneuver requires division of attention, and you must constantly be thinking about where you are in the maneuver. Anticipate the initial descent as you enter, as well as your climb back to your highest pivotal altitude. Remember, your highest pivotal altitude is located where the wind begins to change from a tailwind to a headwind component, and your lowest pivotal altitude is when the headwind begins to change to a tailwind. These points should be consistent during both turns, allowing for you to anticipate the climb or descent required to maintain your pylon. Another consideration is when to roll out wings level to make your transition to the second pylon. You should roll out wings level on a heading that will allow you to track to your next entry point. This is why I emphasize the importance of having an entry point that is 1/4 mile away from the pylon. You should see similar altitudes at the completion of each turn. If this altitude is not the same as your calculated pivotal altitude, that is fine. Your math may not be perfect, and during the transition, you do not have the same tailwind component as you did when you were calculating the pivotal altitude during setup. Remember, the level transition between pylons is the only time that you are actively applying wind correction. This means that you must put the nose into the wind as soon as you are wings level in order to track to your next entry point. When entering the second turn, you may not be able to see your pylon before you roll in. Keep your airplane tracking to the 1/4 mile entry point by visualizing your position in relation to the pylon. Think about section lines where roads intersect and imagine where the pylon is in relation to your wing in order to roll in at the appropriate time. Once you are established in the turn, you are back to square one. Keep the pylon on your reference point of the wing. If it moves back, add back pressure. If it moves forward, add forward pressure. Aids on pylons can be intimidating. In order to be successful, remember to do proper pre-flight planning to make sure that your entry is smooth and efficient. It is critical to visualize where you are in relation to the wind throughout the maneuver and to pay attention to the position of the pylon on your wing. As with all maneuvers, anytime the wind is involved, you must be able to anticipate your next move in order to apply smooth and continuous corrections.
Thank you for watching 3-Minute Thursdays. If you have a topic that you would like to see covered, please comment below.
Fly safe, and we'll see you on the flight line. Fly safe, and we'll see you on the flight line. Yikes, we have to do that one again. I don't know why I made that face at the end. It was just, it felt like the thing to do. Oh, wow. Okay.